Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So this is another highly anticipated moment. We're going to show you two-door Bronco MidRunner with the proprietary APG body system. All right, guys, one of the questions we get asked a lot is how can I get the look of a big, aggressive, off-road, wide-body APG Bronco, but without such a heavy cost? We understand that not everybody is going to be using those big Pro Runner builds, but this is a great example of an executed build that's still wide, aggressive. The tire fills the body. It's got a great suspension upgrade, but it's not what you're going to get on Pro Runner. But not everybody needs that much. So, how we have this vehicle built is just enough for what a lot of you may want or need. So we hope this gives you a good idea of what MidRunner can offer with our proprietary APG wide body system. All right, we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna start at the corner, starting at the front driver's side. We're looking at a 38-inch Nitto Recon Trail Grappler, sitting on 17-inch KMC True bead locks. It's got a black body and a black ring. It's got a -38 backspace that's gonna help put that tire out and sit a little bit more aggressive. We wanted to fill this wide body with a larger tire and a better backspace combination. Peeking through the beautiful carbon fiber, you will see our true to market MidRunner suspension componentry. We've got our double adjuster billet upper control arm, which is going to correct your adjustment angle. We've got a 2.5 King coilover with compression adjusters and reservoirs. Heavy duty Ford Performance tire rods, reinforced steering system. It's got a lot of meat reinforced to the front suspension. Now this is not our Pro Runner, this is our MidRunner, but still very beautiful, very capable, and also more cost effective. So now that we're at the front corner of the car, if you can see through the primary body, you'll notice we had a little bit of fun on this one. Very unique refinishing on this Bronco build. As you know, all of our body panels are all high strength carbon fiber. It's all aerospace grade, it's flawless. But what we've done here on the refinishing is we've left the primary panel semi-transparent. So you can actually see the carbon. But we didn't want it to be so loud and such a transition in between. So we faded it down about 20%. And then also faded to a factory black as it gets close to the surrounding panels, the hood, the front grille, also the rear doors, and that's the theme on the remaining carbon fiber. Now from about 10 feet away, this looks like a black panel. You can see the carbon, but this looks black. But as you get up closer to the panel, you can see it's actually a transparent tinted clear coat. But we did leave the flare completely exposed, as you've seen on the remainder of our MidRunner and our Pro Runner builds. And that just gives it that little bit of accenting. The body system in the front is the same as the Pro Runner. It gets a little bit different when you get to the rear of the two-door. Since we don't have that door in the back, we don't have that door transition, but we're gonna get into that later. So let's jump onto the front bumper system, some of the lighting options, and some of the refinishing options on the front to help bring this whole black pack together. All right, so a new product that we kind of showcased on social media, it's our front bumper corners. We revisited and wanted to redesign this from the factory because we typically would make a cut to make room for some larger tires and more suspension travel, but we didn't want that. We wanted to have something that aided our body lines. It's a replaceable part, 4 bolts, comes in, comes out. It's made out of lightweight aluminum. We powder coated it in the same color as the factory bumper. And it's just a small little addition to complement the APG body system. All right, the theme on this APG black pack is really just that. We want to black everything out. The grille was pulled and refinished in a factory black and clear coated. All the decals and badges and front camera housing were all refinished. And it's just kind of playing into the overall dark theme here. The whole front bumper system is factory original, minus these bumper wings that we just spoke about. You can see some Baja Designs fog pocket kit shining through these corners. They've got the SAE amber fog in the corner, so your factory control will hit it. And there's not a lot of extra accessories on this Bronco, but just a subtle amount of light to help you at nighttime if you are running it. In order to get this larger 38-inch tall tire to clear on a mid-travel suspension setup, it was a bit more of a challenge. We had to get creative with our wheel back spacing, and obviously the APG body system is opening up that wheel envelope to allow that to happen. But we also had to do a little bit of creative fab work to the front corner body support bracket. We just had to notch it a little bit, but we kind of welded that in, cleaned it up, and it looks factory original. But kind of shining through this whole assembly right now, you'll see our, a lot of guys love these carbon fiber fender liners. They just look so clean and they tie together the whole entire body system. But our new product to market are these APG billet upper control arms. Now, these upper control arms are not like anything else that's available on market. They are double adjuster. One of the biggest issues that we've seen with people is with their IFS is having incorrect geometry. They're keeping their factory upper control arm, or they're using an upper control arm that doesn't have the alignment characteristics adjustment inside. And what they're doing is they're taking it to the alignment shop to get it to drive straight, and they're making all the adjustment with the lower control arm. Now, most aftermarket upper control arms are adjustable, but you have to remove the upper control arm, turn the joint just to get some adjustment and kind of rebuild the suspension, so the alignment shops just leave it alone. Our upper control arms are adjustable on the vehicle. Loosen the jam nut, twist the double adjuster sleeve, and then you can move that arm in or out, so you don't need to use all of the adjustment on your lower control arms. And that'll ensure that your CV axle is plunged correctly, so you're not pulling that joint out as you guys are going off-roading. That really helps for a whole variety of suspension setups, not just these king coilovers that we decided to use, or not just this spring rate or this selected ride height. IFS geometry is essential to get right, and we can't stress that enough. These are just factory replacement king coilovers. We've got a little bit of unique valving inside of those because of the weight of the tire that we have, but for the most part, it's pretty much an off-the-shelf product. All right, now to the rear of the Bronco, which is the unique part of this build because we've got 2 less doors to worry about. The rear quarter panel had to be completely re-engineered from the ground up. We don't have that door transition. We didn't chop the fender and kind of worry about all that. And this allowed us to kind of recreate the curvature of the body system for a more natural wheel well opening, and it looks fantastic. On this one, you've got the 20% transparent tinted clear primary fender, which is still exposed carbon fiber, then the fully exposed 1-inch flare. Now again, from far away, maybe start about 10 feet away, it looks black essentially. And as you get up close, the beautiful aesthetics of the carbon is kind of popping through that tinted clear. It looks killer. Now also on top, take a look at the hardtop. This is a Ford factory 2-door modular hardtop, but to continue the theme of the APG black pack we wanted to give on this car, we refinished it in the same factory color as the primary structure. This was a challenge. We've seen a lot of hardtops painted, and a lot of them, if not all of them, have failed. We had to bring in some experts from PPG, and we came up with a special solution primer and adhesion process. I think our body guys really knocked it out of the park. Just kind of getting rid of that gray top just really brings in the theme of the full blacked out, APG MidRunner. So the rear of the Bronco, it's got a similar mid-travel setup. It's got a 2.5 king coilover. It's got a compression adjuster. It's got a remote reservoir. And it's got to get that, that extra 2.5 to 3 inches of lift back there. It's got better valving than factory valving. Now, once you lift that rear end of the car up, a lot of people miss this step. As you lift the car up, you are changing your pinion angle. And some of you may have experienced some vibration issues. It kind of depends on how much you lift the car. We corrected that with our double adjuster heavy duty lower control arm links. The lower control arms are adjustable, so we're able to change that pinion angle and point that pinion back up where it needs to go. And that's gonna eliminate any chance of vibration with, again, the theme, correct suspension geometry. All right, this rear bumper setup is the same setup you guys have seen on the other ProRunner builds. It's got the heavy duty tire carrier swing out. We knew we had a bigger, heavier tire. The tailgate reinforcement kits that we've seen on market, we're not really a fan of those just yet. So we wanted to take the weight off of the tailgate, put it back onto the swing out. This is a similar setup you guys have seen in the past. It's got the Baja Designs RTL Mini kind of chase light. It's got brake function, it's got chase function, rear illumination. Coming down a little bit lower, you've got the Baja Designs Squadron, little diffused lower bumper lights. Those come handy for camp setup, working in the back, or just kind of illuminating the ground at nighttime, keeping them low to the ground so it's not buzzing your eyes. This is a winch capable bumper, but on this particular build, we do not have the rear winch. So we can get into what happens with this bumper system without the rear winch. We can show you that cutout that's inside of there. And continuing that same black pack APG theme with the mirror caps, the door handles, we pulled off the back tailgate handle, the OEM Ford decal, and just got all that resprayed in that factory black, just so it looks clean. And like I said, following that same black pack. Okay, we're gonna open this up. Now you can see where the rear winch would be, is we have these closeout brackets. We didn't want to have the cutout there if you were not going to run a winch. So we have these cool little closeout brackets. They just bolt to that same fair lead housing. So in the event you did want a winch in the future, just pop this closeout bracket out and you're all set. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in to watch the release of the 2-door Bronco MidRunner. Here in the shop, we always like to give a name to a car. We call this Project Night Rider. We think it was fitting on there, but like anything else, if you enjoy what you guys have seen on this, we want to continually bring you guys new content of all of our builds, current and present. We appreciate you guys following along on this release of the 2-door. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button if you like what you've seen here. See you next time.